I'm not sure the quality of audio this is going to be, but I truly love the Istanbul airport. It's very large. I don't know where I'm going yet. Just flew in, and I am searching for the next gate. You may get a tour of what it's like, but this is the international section here. I'll check the gates. They're supposed to come up pretty soon. And since I'm traveling, I'm doing my show while walking. I'll take a seat here in a little bit, but I gotta check. There's the duty-free shop here. And it's actually quite a nice airport. I always liked this one, and I like coming to Istanbul. So if you fly to Istanbul through Turkish Airlines, a lot of times they give you either a free night from the airline, or since it's a very long flight, it's 10 hours flight, and my flight is at 6:50 tonight, so we'll have a look at it. Gate hasn't been listed yet for Kazan at 1850, third one over 0427 in Kazan, so I'll still be wandering a little bit until they put the right gate on there. Anyway, whether you think that's boring or not, that's what you're stuck with today. And perhaps you can watch this on my YouTube because I am going to upload this to YouTube so that you can, so that JR can play it on the station at the proper time. And I have some things to do when I sit down. I'll find a spot to sit down and we'll go from there. But if you want to watch this on my YouTube channel, it's at Samuel Trapp on my YouTube channel, and there's a lot of them there in Russian and a lot of them there in English as well. But this will be, of course, today. And if you want to watch it or see the Istanbul airport, you can check it out. And there's some of the gates. They're all gated off, so each one has its own security when you go in. Those are very nice. I like this one, and I like the one in Doha, Qatar. When you're traveling international, this is great. And this one's very nice. You have to get used to bathrooms in the East. A lot of them are squat toilets, so when you open a door, if you go in there and you are confronted by just a hole in the ground, there are a lot of squat toilets that are these. They're clean, they're nice, but I don't like them. And so I always, well, kind of a rude topic, but if the need confronts you when you're traveling, well, sometimes you gotta go. And I'll keep checking every one of these, and maybe I'll find a place to get a bite. The food has gone down in quality, I would say, on Turkish Airlines. Maybe they don't want to hear that, but used to be quite a bit better. They gave me, you do get 2 meals, but their first one was pasta that was pretty, was pesto pasta, not very tasty. Didn't eat that. And then 8 hours later, they give you a breakfast, which was worse than army eggs. At least army eggs were real eggs. They just happened to sit in a Mermite container for a good long time when you were eating them. These aren't even real. They were powdered and not tasty. The military at least used real eggs. And they always have these nice coffee shops everywhere and great sandwiches. Maybe we should take a look at that. I love the sandwiches you can buy over here, and their food is fantastic. So if you get a chance to travel to Istanbul, the food is fantastic. If your layover is longer than several hours. And this is a very large international hub. This city of Istanbul is like 15 million people or something. It's enormous. And so they have like 4 airports. And this one's the biggest, or one of the 2 biggest. And I'm sorry. And this one is my favorite. I like it. I like traveling here. And they have a great lounge, so when you're traveling a long way, you can pay $40 for a lounge, take a shower, have unlimited food in there, unlimited drinking, including alcohol. Not that you would, but you have a great place to sleep. They have these little sleep pods that you can sleep in the sleep pods. That's a lot of fun. And but you got to pay for that by the hour, whatever that price is. So if you pay for the whole price of going into one of the lounges, which are very nice, the travel lounges, they're extremely nice. They have buffets in there and very good food, and usually they're on the second floor, so they'd be up near the top up there, and you can find a place to relax and sleep for a while if you're what do you call it, if your layover's fairly long. But also Turkish Airlines, since they are a hub, they also give you these free tours, so you can go out and get a free boat ride and get out into the Bosphorus and go out into the Bosphorus and take a trip on a pretty good boat, and they feed you on the boat, and so it's really nice. And if you're from the lake and you know from Florida, you've been on a lot of boats, but you probably haven't been on a boat in the Bosphorus Straits, and it's very nice. One of the largest shipping a big shipping hub on the planet. Maybe not on the planet, but there's plenty going on in there, and of course Starbucks everywhere, including here. And you hear people speaking all kinds of languages. Russian quite a bit. There's a lot of Russians everywhere. On my flight there were a bunch of Russians. I spoke some Russians in one of the lounges. We're hanging on there. They're all very interested. And get this, for the first time ever, so I have probably not quite 15,000 followers on my Russian YouTube channel, and at the airport, get this, the lady checking me into Turkish Airlines, she said, "I know you." And I was like, "Ah, you do not." She goes, No, I listen to you. You're on YouTube." I couldn't believe it. The first time that has happened to me. So apparently now I'm famous. We'll see if that happens any other time. But that is a first. We'll see if it turns me into an a-hole like other famous people. I don't think so. And they have Burger Kings over here too, but the Burger Kings here are not like Burger Kings in America. Here the food is actually good. And not that it's not in America, but you taste the difference. You definitely do, especially the fries. And so sorry to keep checking the boards as we get up here. I did have some topics I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to miss it, miss where I'm going by not having paid attention. So, but I do want to finish my, find a place that's somewhat quiet. They have these, there's some nice sitting lounges. This is a very nice airport, and lots of places to sit, but there's also a ton of people here. And so getting money, global exchanges. At any rate, I am very excited. The lady at the Miami airport said she listened to me and on my YouTube channel, and she said that she would love to sit down and debate with me. She was from Kiev, she said. So that's Ukraine, for those of you who might be geographically challenged. And she was saying that she, even being from Kiev, she completely agrees with my points of view most of the time when we are discussing those sorts of topics, or topics regarding the war in Ukraine and the causes of it. And more people, including those from Ukraine, are actually discussing the reasons and the methods and the madness behind the war. I have some very. I went through a lot of. Downloaded a bunch of videos and watched a bunch of them on the plane to be prepared for my show, and didn't. And I did listen to them all. But like I said, you're traveling with me, and so I'm going to give it 10 minutes or so, sit down somewhere and start doing a little bit of recording, see if I can find a little bit of a hole. And I really hope that I am understandable and the quality of the audio is good enough for you to hear what I'm about to say. In all truth, I did think for a small moment that perhaps the same thing would happen to me that happened with Scott Ritter. And if you haven't watched any of his videos recently, you might want to go and listen to his videos. Especially, there was the latest one. Look up Scott Ritter and his FBI raid, because that happened in August when he was pulled off the plane. That was back in early June, I think. And then the FBI raided his house in like August, and he was given an update on that they have nothing. They haven't done anything. They haven't done anything since then. He hasn't been charged with anything. They took all of his stuff and they searched his house for like 5 hours. And it really has to do with the same thing that I've been talking about with RT, Russia Today, the channel. And I've been talking about that. I read you a complaint about some of the other people. It wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to include him in that nonsense. And he basically said and he had his own channel on RT for a little while, and I wondered what happened to it, but it didn't get much play. I assume it didn't get much play because he speaks English and he is Russian. I imagine it's not very good. Here's, you know what, I've been to this part of the airport several times. There are those beds that you can sleep in. So the beds are right there on the right. You see that? It's called the sleep pod. So they have this sleep pod system, and you can go in there and you pay by the hour. I don't remember what it is. I've not done it. I just went up there and checked out it, but I wasn't staying long enough to make it worthwhile. But a very large airport, very, very, very well put together. Tons of people, and they have great gates down here. And anyway, back to Scott Ritter and his discussions regarding what his current status was. They haven't done anything. They just came and arrested and took all his stuff. He was saying that he has been stopped from coming to Russia because he doesn't have a passport back since June, right? So, of course, that worries me a little bit. I don't hear that nonsense, you know. And he said the same thing I would say. That, you know, nobody pays me to have my own opinion. They might pay me for my opinion, but that'd be like saying you could, I'm sure, pick any guy on this radio station, pick JR, pick me, pick Ike, pick anybody out there and on this station and tell me that they wouldn't take money for their opinion. They'd love to get paid for their opinion. So I know I would, and I imagine so would they. And so would, this is a great candy store. I hope you're looking on my YouTube video, because this is an excellent candy store. I bought a whole bunch of it last time I was here. I was going to take it home, ended up eating it all on the plane. Check this stuff out. They have some great candies. I love Turkish candies. These are freaking awesome. And the black mulberry, I bought a box of these the last time. You know, whatever it is, 8 euro for a couple of kilo, whatnot, you know, a quarter a kilo, however they calculate them. I just buy them. And then they got some baklava and some great Turkish candies. These are everywhere. They're a little more expensive in the airport, but excellent food. You get a chance to check this out on my YouTube channel, you probably should. And then these are little sleep areas right here, so you can get in there and you can find a lounge chair to sleep in. And so it's more like you can see the chair through there a little bit and see what it is to sleep in. I'm not going to get one. I don't have time today, but you can get a view of what it is in that airport. lounge for where you can, and these you don't have to pay for. You just go in there and get one, and you can sleep in there. So I don't know, these sleep pods, maybe it's a little more quiet. And here you can charge your phone and you can do all of that. I've spent quite a few hours in this airport, on my trips back and forth. And so I have a pretty good idea where to go. Up there is the lounge up on top, that one of the lounges up there. Usually got to pay, I don't remember, 40, 60 bucks, I can't recall. But it's well worth the money if you're going to be here for more than 3-4 hours and you don't feel like going to one of the excursions out, because they'll take you to a restaurant, they'll take you downtown, they'll take you to like I said, Bosphorus. They'll take you out, and you can go on a boat out there for the day. It's really nice. They have a couple of great mosques, very nice mosques you can go out and see, and that's very nice. It's a great place for traveling, and but you can see they're just as modern as we are, and they're around. So at any rate, I'm hoping you can hear me. I still want to find a spot and check the departures at the same time. I need to keep track on that. But I'm going to stay up in here in this area so that I can buy some of that candy before I get done, because I'm definitely going to do that. And maybe I should do it while we're on the phone here, or while I'm recording the video, so that you can see them if you do go out to my YouTube channel and check this out. I got to check these departures real quick and see where we're going. But I did want to talk about Scott Ritter and his current issues and the freedom of speech, which, as JR said yesterday, Tuesday is today is Tuesday, isn't it? No, today's Thursday. See, I'm losing track of days. I also haven't slept since last night. My flight left Miami at 9:45. So I have trouble sleeping on planes, and so I didn't. So I've basically been up all night. So I woke up at 5 in the morning yesterday. I guess that'd be Wednesday morning. I woke up at 5 in the morning, got on the plane at 9 at night, and the flight landed roughly, it'd be 6 o'clock in the morning, landed here. I'm going to look and see. Oh, there it is. B7B is my gate. Now I can go to the gate, ABC. But first I'm going to go buy some candy. And I won't do it. That'd be rude. But I'm going to go to gate B7 and not buy the candy. I'm coming back this way through Istanbul again. And I'm staying a couple of days on the way back. At the end of the month, and I'll be sure to pick some up. But hopefully you saw the pictures of it. If not, rewind, check it out, because it's very tasty. And Turkish candies and Turkish sweets are very, very good. And I'm sure, I know you can get them in America. I have, but it's not like they're all that easy to find. Sometimes some of the Turkish restaurants, there's a good one in St. Louis that is downtown, or near the Botanical Garden. There's one, and they had some candy, if I recall. No, not candy, sweets, and some of the baked goods and good food. So if you get a chance, certainly enjoy your Turkish foods, and they have very good food in Turkey, and in fact almost everywhere in the Middle East. And I like Asian food, and Lebanese food is probably my favorite, except for Uzbeki food. Uzbeki are among the best cooks on the planet, and they prepare food. Chaykhana basically is it basically means restaurant or place to eat, or I forget, it's not specifically restaurant, but it has something to do with that. Anyway, I'm just babbling today, but I did want to make sure to have a show for you today, and to say where we're going. And I know it's getting a little loud, so I'm kind of holding the phone close to hear me, because now you're going to hear all kinds of things because the gates will start to announce. But I got to get over to the B section to get to my gate, and then hopefully find a quiet spot to tell you the details I wanted to tell you. So there was another press conference by Lavrov, and there's There's a gentleman, Pedro Escobar. If you haven't listened to him, you might want to.
DT-942
Sorry.
sefer sayılı Maaçkale uçuşu için son çağrıdır.
Well,
Yolcularının
don't
çok
try this at
sayılı
home,
C1
kids. This is
kapısına geçmesi
this
rica
is
olunur.
something you. I'm a trained professional. Don't
Your
try this at
attention,
home.
please. This is the
And they
final
make sure to
call
throw it
for
in
all
English.
passengers traveling on DP9.
I'm gonna find a spot and keep on talking. I hope I haven't turned everybody off with this lunacy, but I'm very much into this travel, and I did want to do a show today. Check out this hall if you get a chance to see this central part of the gate area, of the shopping in between. This is Istanbul Airport. They have great restaurants. They got some duty free. You can buy almost anything in here. There's it's freaking beautiful. And so if you get a chance, check this out. You really need to. And this is well worth the 10-hour flight, in my opinion. When you come over here, and I've spent countless hours in several of these bars over here, coffee bars, where you sit and you just relax until your next one, and you can buy all kinds of sweets and great food, and really check this out. So if you get a chance whilst listening to me on the JR program, it's currently in Istanbul. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, just about. This show will come on in about you know what, I just gave you the time in Missouri. It's 4:30 in the afternoon here, and it will be about 10 hours until my show, when JR gets to help me upload this if I can't figure out how to do it myself. But if you get a chance to check this airport out, you probably should. They even have McDonald's. And by the way, the McDonald's here is a lot better than ours, typically, our typicals, because their ingredients are better. And there's really no doubt about it. That's almost everywhere in the world. And I've eaten McDonald's and Burger King in a lot of different places. But their food is fantastic. And going and shopping over here, you can get anything here that you can get in America. And it's, I enjoy the travel, and I enjoy, the variety of things that you can get everywhere. And certainly in Istanbul, you can have it. Up on top there is where you enter into one of the many travel lounges. And they have good restaurants in here and a lot of different places to go. Now, let's get to the political portions of the show, which I did want to get into today, starting with the Scott Ritter. And then talk about the post-Zelensky, what is happening with him, which is very little. All the news that is coming up now is the same stuff that I have been saying. I was wrong on the timing, or off on the timing, but it's still gonna happen. And the U.S. is gonna. He's basically a lame duck president. If the war doesn't continue, he's got no power, and the war is going to continue not at his victory plan. The entire world is laughing at, except for the few loonies in the United States who are claiming that it's still some sort of. They're trying to let him down easily, like it's a viable plan of some sort, and it isn't. And so the issue is, here's some of the many seating places, but they're kind of full. I'm going to go over to one of the Wi-Fi spots over there, or one of these tables, and just have a seat. Maybe they'll make me buy something, but okay, I'm not against that. And I want to sit down for a little bit anyway and get to this program. And I'm going to order some coffee at least while I sit here and go through this show. And in the meantime, we're going to keep a photo, keep the recording on. Hopefully the sound is okay. And we want to make sure that it doesn't get too out of focus on the video. And I want to talk about what is going on with Zelensky. So, as I've said, they're going to remove him from before too long. His own people are doing it. He's not going to get reelected. Every Ukrainian that I've run into, without exception, I ran into a Ukrainian couple on the freeway and I didn't run into them, but they were walking down the road. I pulled over to help them, and they were walking down the freeway, I-75, and they said they were. Here's the menu. We'll check it out. We're gonna have. I just want a coffee or bakery, not a cold sandwich. Iced coffee. Anyway, you're listening to me, which kind of happens on my YouTube shows. It doesn't happen quite as often on my radio program, but today you're getting my radio program while I travel. So I hope I've kept your interest at some part, even if it's just to see the Istanbul airport, because it really is beautiful. By 10 o'clock tonight, I should be in Kazan, and I'll sleep for 20 hours and then get up and get situated and figure out where I'm going. I have a meeting with some administrative types that hopefully will make sure that my press credentials get logged in and that everything works out that way for me. Or I might not be able to get in. I might not get approved, but I'm all submitted. Everything is submitted in time. I'd really like to be able to get in there and participate on the ground floor of that conference. And as I have been harping on quite a bit in the last week or two leading up to this conference and coming over here and attempting to get in, things are changing, America, and the powers that be do not want you to be interested in what I'm putting out. I hope you are. I hope there are people who figure it out, because the rest of the world, and it's not just Russia, the triumvirate that the U.S. is trying to make you absolutely hate, of Russia, China, and Iran, really are the three countries that are putting up the fiercest resistance to the hegemony of the United States and Israel. So there's some very interesting developments that you need to be aware of. As of the first quarter of this year, transactions conducted in the yuan and in BRICS are greater, and this is internationally, all over the world, are greater than the dollar. For the first time ever, the yuan is traded as a reserve currency more than the dollar. If you're not worried about this, you should be, especially because of the amount of debt that we carry as the United States. This is the particular reason for my interest in coming over in BRICS. I'm not a billionaire, so I don't have that kind of money to worry about, but this is the fight of the billionaires. This is why they're fighting. This is why Israel's important. Everybody in the rest of the, call it the global South, call it BRICS plus, call it whatever you want to call it. They limited about 4 months ago the ability. They put a freeze on countries coming into BRICS because they have had so many applications. Right now it's called BRICS plus, and it's something like 24 that were put in. And then there were another 40 that applied. And now, of the amount of people that wish to apply for BRICS, and I don't know if applying for BRICS means, and this is part of the reason for me wanting to come here. If applying for BRICS means that you can't still use the SWIFT system, but if you can't, if it has to be BRICS or the other, most of the other countries on the planet, whether you like the U.S., don't like the U.S., I love the U.S., it's my country. It still makes me wonder when our government is going to pull their collective heads out of the single rear end of the U.S. government. Even Trump hasn't. Trump just gets in there and says, "I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it." Well, I got news for you. This just isn't something that he can get in and, the art of the New Deal or the art of a good deal and create a new deal. He just can't do. That's not how it works. And he can't just snap his fingers, for example. When Lavrov was asked at least 3 times about Trump's comments that he could end the war before he took office, or that he could end it in a day, which we all know he has said. And whether you want to, JR played an interesting cut yesterday from a young lady who was saying that he's a narcissist, and okay, fine, I don't know that I agree with that, but he certainly is proud of himself, and by the way, he should be. And he has done some fantastic things in his life, and I have no doubt that he can continue to do fantastic things. Hopefully, not to the detriment of us all, that it lifts up our boats and saves the U.S. for a little while longer. But the initial question I was giving you is whether or not the United States can pay attention to this, and whether or not, if you are a member of BRICS, if that means you aren't going to be a member of the West, the NATO plus, call it, actually the U.S. plus, because the U.S. is the one that is the, one world ruler. Even NATO, won't, go to the bathroom without the say-so of the United States. Now, if Trump takes office, that might change a little bit. But take Turkey. If you take Turkey, for example, Turkey is a fantastic country. Beautiful place, great food, very historic, money, development, everything, okay? And JR was doing something yesterday that I'm sorry to keep talking about JR. I feel like I said something again about JR, but he was pointing out the billionaires in the United States. I wonder how many billionaires there are around the world, that you find the richest people in the world. And we know Musk's among the bunch. Putin is among the bunch, by the way. And they said that way back when, Brezhnev was among the bunch, Stalin was among the bunch, because of the way they controlled their country. And that, I don't know that I necessarily believe that, but sure, they control it all, so I assume it's their money, and they can direct where that money is going. So anyway, if the point I was trying to make before I interrupted my damn self, because there's too many things going on around here, is that Turkey basically wanted to be in the EC and joined NATO to be in the EC, but they've never really felt like they're part of NATO. And we treat them like NATO treats them like the evil stepchild anyway, just like Serbia, right? And so the fact is that there have been quite a few countries, including Mexico, who are on the list for those that want to be part of BRICS. They don't want to be told what to do by the U.S. dollar. Whether or not they can be a member of SWIFT and of BRICS, whatever the banking system, if it's just banking system and exchange system, right now you could decide to use the yuan as the world currency or as your exchange currency, because the US dollar, whether it's there or not, is going to be very weak over the next 30 years, call it. Maybe quicker, because China has a goal to get this done by 2030, and they're well on their way, because they, like I said, the number of transactions, the amount of transactions occurring in dollars has occurring in yuan has gone higher than the dollar, and the amount done in BRICS currency, the trade among BRICS currencies, including India, are have all also surpassed the dollar. The trade among themselves in their own country's currency is taking place. If Russia announces, like I expect to be, if BRICS announces at this conference, like I expect to be announced, that they are putting in a new payment system to rival SWIFT, and doing something to get rid of the domination of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, which has already taken place in China, because China's Belts and Roads initiatives are far greater than that, and they don't dictate what you have to do, austerity measures and that kind of thing. So the rest of the world, the global south, the developing nations, South America, all of Africa, most of Southeast Asia, the Far East, most of those countries are very much in favor of it. The only ones that aren't, the old diehards, the old colonialists. The old colonialists. I saw some goofy Yale professor the other day, and you know what? He put it out very well. I wish I could remember his name, but I'd have to look it up I'm just trying to finish a show here. I'm only going to go an hour, try to get an hour in today, and then get to my gate, because it has to upload so JR can play the show for me today. But there was some Yale professor got in there and is accusing Russia. This is funny. He says, and it sounds so good. People actually clapped for him. He was in some governmental room, and he sounded so good when he said it. So you should look it up. Yale professor, Russian colonialism should be your keywords. Go look it up and watch this guy. It's only a 2.5-minute video. And ask yourself at the end, well, what's the West doing? What's the United States doing? What has NATO done for the last, figure it out, 200 years? He was accusing Russia of having done that for the last 250 years, colonialism. And that is why Zelensky's plan is going to work, because he says you have to come from a position of strength. And this professor from Yale is out there pumping the world to try to get us committed to fighting Russia in Ukraine with Ukrainians, and maybe even NATO members. So I have a lot of hope that Donald Trump can come in and at least get rid of this talk. These kind of things. These people are not acting in your own best interest. And this guy was pretty pleased with himself, with his own idea. And then another lady got up, I watched a second lady at the same conference who said basically the same. And just a second person to come in and say that it's time to back Zelensky, like we haven't been already. I mean, just the U.S. has given him $200 billion almost, and the rest of NATO has doubled that. And there's a shortage of weapons. There's a shortage of people, more importantly. And more importantly, they cannot repair NATO equipment in Ukraine. They got to send it back to a NATO country. Russia has mobile repair forces, just like we have in the U.S. military, our mobile repair shops that are really There's been talk of them coming in and tearing apart and replacing a turret on a tank in under 4 hours, on site, on the battlefield. So they don't have to ship it back to Moscow. So all the ones that call it, whether they're destroyed ultimately or they just have some major repair that has to be done, the Russians are able to go in on site and get that done on the battlefield, where we're not. So for a lot of reasons, Ukraine is not going to win, and it's not going to change. They managed to hold Ugledar while Zelensky hung out in New York and begged for money. And what happened to that kind of fizzled out. His little freak show over there where he gets to go and put on his beggar's hat, or put his beggar's hat out and ask for more. And now he wants to be strong. And he's apparently spoken to these Yale professors. Really, you need to watch it, but take it from the point of view that when you watch these yo-yos, that just at the end of it, or just take out the word Russia and put in United States and anywhere in that sentence and figure out why the rest of the world is maybe not anti-US, but certainly not pro. They think we're not very bright, to be truthful. They think that we don't pay enough attention to what's going on in the world, and some of the international. Listen, watch that. Is it Pablo Escobar? And was very. Watch one of his videos. I've watched several of his over the past year or so, and he's always very well spoken. And when he's talking to people, and there's a couple other ones that just make fun of the United States, and not the people. They make fun of the politicians, because the politicians have no idea on the international stage what's going on. They have one goal, and that's to keep the military-industrial complex pumping. That's it. That's where they get their money for their next election. We think it's minor because we think we're God's chosen and God's blessed. Well, so does the rest of the world. The rest of the world, you telling me that the Israelis don't think they're number one? That a lot of Arabic countries don't think they're number one? That the Ukrainians, they definitely think they're number one, and they still have Nazi logos on their uniforms. And in fact, they're renaming cities to they're spending U.S. money to rename cities in Ukraine after people like Bandera and other patriots. They're destroying anything from the Second World War and the victory. And the older generation are telling the younger generation, why are you doing this? These people saved your country. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these people whose monuments you're destroying. Now, whether you want to agree that Lenin and Stalin are, they don't have Stalin ones around, but there's a good number of Lenin statues around. I took a picture of some when I was in Vladikavkaz. You can still find them, and I took a picture of one last year when I was in Uzbekistan, and you can still find them. But what's wrong with history? Maybe you don't want people like Stalin out there, because even by even a friendly view of what he did, he still killed a lot of people. And but don't act like our government is doing you any favors, because they're not. They act for themselves and how they get reelected, and it's all about the military-industrial complex. And so these issues all go together, and I've put out a ton of information today and a ton of things to consider. Call it that. Don't believe me. Go and look for yourself. I'm still looking for myself. I'm still getting as much information as I can from as many different sources as I can, because you can't believe our sources in the United States. I just want to give you another view of this business center in this corner, and what a beautiful place this is. coffee and cream, and all the shops here. You know, maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money. I never did order any food, but oh well. I'll just get on the plane. I'm tired anyway, and get a nap. And I had hoped to speak a lot longer. I hope you're not bored with me anyway. I hope you had a chance to look at these videos. And I'll keep talking. I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna go to my gate, and that way I can keep talking as we get there, and maybe talk about some of the other things that I wanted to talk about and show you. There's so many people traveling, and they go all over the world, and there's so many places to see that this is still only 51 for me. When I went to Georgia back in August, that was country number 51, and I did want to show my flag hat. If you haven't seen it, I will show it to you. So before I sign off today, I will show you my flag hat, which is a hat I bought. I think I bought that one in Greece years ago, and it's got a flag of most of the countries where I have been. Let's see, I think B is to the left from here. I'm trying to remember. They have great pizzerias, and it's like a enormous shopping mall, and very sunny outside today. So I hope you can see, if you're watching on YouTube or checking out this fantastic airport. And A and B going down. I want to use the stairs if I can get to them, if I can remember where they are. Oh, there they are, over to the right. But see how pretty that is? It's a fabulous airport. Look at that, still got payphones. How do you like them apples? I'm going to use the escalator because I want to use it. And I hope you can hear me, and I haven't kept this too far away, and I hope the audio has come in pretty well. And I want to get to the gate and show you my hat. Tons of travelers. So, man, it's bright out today. Wish I had time to go and do one of the tours today, but I don't. I'm going to the B gates, and moving out smartly. At any rate, I intend to keep you informed with my progress when I get where I'm going. I will certainly check in and do some more discussion on things that are of great value to us. I feel a little bit disjointed today because I'm doing two things at once, and I have a hard time doing one thing at once. Oh, somebody just took a nosedive over there, and we'll make sure the gate hasn't changed, and then I'm going to cut you off. Hopefully I've been able to keep you interested with today's program. I'm going to find a spot right here and show you my hat. Here's my carry-on bag, and I'm going to show you, if you get a chance to see, my hat. There it is, with all of the, not all, but 90% of the countries where I have traveled with their flag pin on the hat. So every time I go to one of these countries, I try to make sure to get a flag pin and some other photo. But I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Sorry I'm a little disjointed. Sorry that it's very short today. JR, you can run this twice, is what I say. Run it twice, and that way people know that they can listen to it again, or you can pull up one of my other shows in English from before, and feel free to add to it. Or better yet, JR, if you would get out there and find the conversation of, let me see if I can find it real quick for you, because I'll send you the link for it. That's what I will do. So this is the end of my show. I'm going to upload the link for you because the one with Mr. Escobar, I do want you to play as well. And I will send you the link for that. And I very much appreciate you. And that is the end of today's program from me. I want you to go see. I'll see if I can find the link for you, at least the name of the show on my tablet, and we'll see if we can't pull it up on my YouTube here, history. And if you're looking for me, that's my channel, Samuel Trapp, and you can go on to my channel. I hope I didn't turn off the no data roaming, but you can turn that part off. I do want you to listen to this Escobar guy, but I have to have the data turned on in order to get to my history. And Maria Zakharova, her briefing today was very good as well. I listened to all of that. And I think it's important to listen to those things, and she's always pretty interesting. And you're not getting much of a video show here while this screen pops up. Let's see here on our analytics, and then we'll get to my history and where we are, my history, and you need to listen to the where is he? We're going to talk about the gentleman on the history on the downloads here. That is it's a very long it's an hour long, and we don't want you to miss that. That you can either download or listen to. JR is going to play it on the show, and it I can't find my history, people. Sorry about that. It's gone. Where is it? Because it was today that I watched it. Watched it on the plane. And so hopefully it will load up, and I will send you the link to what that is, and JR will play it second. Those of you who've listened to me today and put up with my mumbling and bumbling as I wander through the airport, I greatly appreciate you. I do hope that you pay attention to what I'm trying to do at the BRICS conference, and all the information that I get to put out from there. I hope that it bears fruit for me and for you, and I do plan on getting much more information. I very much appreciate your listening to me and watching my videos. I'm going to upload this for you, and you folks have a nice day.